Let me now get back to the program and invite an old friend of mine who I haven't seen in a while, the Honorable Dr. Justice K.I. Laibuta, the judge of the Court of Appeal, Kenya. Once upon a time, we used to double together in the media and radio when I used to do a show called The People's Parliament. It's good to see you, the Honorable Justice. Please, karibu on stage. Tumpigie Justice Laibuta makofi tafadhali.
What a surprise. Right. Okay. Good. It's well placed, I believe. In the 5 minutes or so that I have been given, I want to persuade you that there is pressing need to accelerate digital accessibility and artificial intelligence solutions, not just in Kenya, but in Africa as a whole. Why should we be concerned? It is because that acceleration expands education and development opportunities for persons with disabilities. And we have good reason to say so. We are gathered here and virtually 4,000 persons plus to testify to the fact that Africa is indeed experiencing rapid digital development, rapid digital transformation at a rate not seen before. We see growth in access to mobile technology, and most of you, particularly those who have visual impairment, will testify to the digital services that we enjoy. We have online, learning and artificial intelligence tools that are transforming lives today for those in education, for those working. However, we must appreciate the fact that digital transformation is only meaningful if it is inclusive. And just so that we don't always play the catch-up game. For millions of persons with disabilities across Africa, indeed, barriers exist. Barriers to education and employment remains a significant reality. We can't deny that. But accessible technology has its place in breaking those barriers. Responsible AI tools indeed play a significant role in breaking those barriers and enhancing opportunity to education and employment. And what have we to say about accessibility as a development and human rights imperative? Of course, drawing from the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and our recent enactment of the Persons with Disabilities Act, we know that accessibility is not merely a technical issue. Indeed, it is a matter of equality, dignity, and human rights. All will attest to that stand. So digital innovations should be inclusive. If not, of course, we bring in the issue of inequality and discrimination. Inclusive digital systems benefit not just persons with disabilities, but all, whether we are employees, whether we are employers, whether we are teachers and trainers, or whether we are students, we all benefit from digital accessibility. So that accessible technology then and education will always pave ways for progress, development, and personal personal benefits in making sure that our livelihoods are indeed supported. So technology closes gaps in the long-standing disparities between learners with disability, persons with disability, and many of them have, of course, challenges accessing physical classrooms. When you talk about students, accessing classrooms, the learning materials, and accessing quality training or support services. However, these gaps are not beyond our ability to close. That's why we are gathered here, to appreciate the fact that digital learning platforms can overcome these physical and geographical barriers. However, they must be designed to be accessible right at the onset, so that we don't play what I refer to as the catch-up game. They must be suitably designed for those with total visual loss, those with hearing impairment, those who have difficulty in communication or speech impaired. All those persons with special needs require accessible digital transformations, just so that we are able to be playing this game of life on an equal footing. We need adaptive technology. We need materials that suit our special needs. And this is not just the responsibility of the innovators, but all those who play a significant role in advocacy and beyond advocacy, of course, the awareness raising among our communities. What is the role of AI? Because again, this world has entered another exciting phase. AI can provide real-time captioning and translation for those who have hearing impairment and those who are able, again, to follow on the materials that are displayed in those platforms in ways that are accessible to them. AI tools can be applied to meet our special needs. And many of you here have testified to that reality and are using AI at our workplaces, in our educational institutions, to prove that as the reality today. It can provide tailored educational support. And that is why I keep on saying this. Let us begin right at the bottom. Let us begin with our educational institutions and make sure that those children are brought up in educational institutions on an equal footing with others, able to share in the training materials that others enjoy, those who have no problems. And for this reason, we require governments, educational institutions, technology innovators or developers, all to adopt the principle of universal design, so that right at the outset, we are able to tailor-make these tools and innovations in such a way as to make them accessible to all. Accessible technology and employment go hand in hand, because accessibility and AI can unlock the economic barriers that stand in the way of those with special needs. And that is why we all play a critical role in ensuring accessibility for all. But you'll also appreciate that millions of persons with disabilities continue to face unemployment and underemployment for the simple reason that their education and training was wanting in many fronts, in many ways, and that they only tried to catch up with their peers a little too late in the day. And that is why we must make sure that we begin training them and making these technological transformations accessible to them right from infancy. We must embrace remote work technology. And just to give you an example, by the way, I live in Vipingo, Kilifi, but I'm stationed at the Court of Appeal in Nairobi now, but I work from the comfort of my home. And that tells you how adaptive technology and accessible tools can make a difference in our lives. Our court is a 100% virtual, and I think all other courts are following suit. Why not our education? Why not tailor these tools for the education of those who have physical impairment and are unable to travel to long distances to access physical classrooms? Why don't we make sure that, if possible, every one of us who has difficulty in mobility, including those who have visual impairment, are able to work from home comfortably and deliver on their tasks? We must guarantee accessible technology to all, and for good cause, of course. AI plays a significant role in all this. And just to give you an example, the tools that are available now for research, writing, and all play a significant role in our lives and make our lives fairly comfortable. However, those tools must be designed and deployed to respond to special needs, and responsibly so. Well, what's our call of action today? It is simple. We must embed accessibility requirements in all that we do, in all digital transformations. It's not a choice, it's an imperative. We must invest in affordable, accessible technology. The device I'm using here, provided through what we refer to in Kenya as reasonable accommodation by my employer, costs not less than $4,000. How many children in school or in college or in training institutions can afford that? Very few. Just to conclude, persons with disabilities must be included in the innovation, in testing, and in ensuring that their needs are met. However, literacy in digital skills cannot be overlooked. We must promote partnerships to make sure that governments, academic institutions, innovators, and all others work together and include persons with disability in coming up with these digital solutions. Now, the question is not whether Africa will embrace digital transformation, but whether those transformations are inclusive. I wish you the best and welcome to this conference, and hope that we will come up with solutions that close the gaps in the areas that we've not achieved as much as we always dreamt of. Thank you.